So you want to start this off? Let's get to the first match. What do we got there? Oh, by the way,
right.
let's introduce each. Let's have you guys introduce yourselves. We're gonna start off with Nate over here. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your YouTube channel real quickly before we get to these.
All right. I'm Nate Serpant, formerly known as Sneaky 87. I do like sneakers, some clothing stuff, doing some food reviews on the channel, stuff like that. Sometimes I do podcasts. I talk a little bit about wrestling, WWE, etc., etc. You can find me at youtube.com/Nate Serpent.
And then we got Clint over here. Introduce yourself.
YouTube is Franchise Kicks. I review sneakers, a little bit of vlogging, not much. I'm kind of cover some controversial topics that gets me lots of hate at times, but that's okay. Makes me that money. But my YouTube is youtube.com/Franchise Kicks. So check it out if you're into sneakers or you like controversy. Check it out.
And obviously, you guys know who I am because you're on my channel. But if you're just hopping in right now, DJ Delz, love sneakers, wrestling, and a whole lot of other things. Star Wars, this is the channel if you like that. And we're going to get right to the first match. What do we got, Nate?
The first match, I guess we'll skip the, you want to skip the pre-show stuff?
Well, it was already going, but let's go through that real quick, the pre-show.
All right, Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English on the pre-show.
I'm going to go with Ty Dillinger.
Easily Ty Dillinger. It's not even a question there.
Ty Dillinger, you can't bury him. He came in way too hot to bury him this quickly. Can't do it.
Yeah, they got to build him up right now. His first time on the main roster was the Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
Yep.
He got a good pop, too. So
Huge pop at number 10.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good gimmick. It's very catchy.
What do we got next?
Next up, it's going to be Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan.
I'm going Luke Harper all the way.
Yeah. Rowan is a little bit, I don't know, lost, I guess. He doesn't really have a personality, really. Like, by himself, he's, I don't know, it just seems like lost. He's just a generic big wrestler. So I'm going with Harper.
I got to be different. Eric Rowan.
Ooh.
Bald
Eric
head and
Rowan.
beard. I relate, you know.
Oh,
And,
I'm growing a little beard, by the way. I don't know
Yeah,
if you noticed.
give
a
me
little
couple
bit,
years,
a
all
little
this
bit.
away.
and like how Harper's had some small pushes in the past, like whenever he had the IC belt for like, 3-4 weeks, something like that. And his small pushes haven't really amounted to much, in my opinion. Rowan, I like him. His ring work could be better, but bald head and a beard, I got to go with it. Got no choice.
Now, I have a question for the both of you. Do you think that they're booking him wrong, though, Eric Rowan? Rowan making him a baby face, kind of? Isn't that kind of strange, or no? You guys,
Yes.
It's really
He's a
odd.
heel. He should be vicious. A heel should be dirty. Yes.
Agreed. He should just, I don't want to say he should be just like Braun Strowman, but something similar where he's just like chaotic and like sort of like a mindless killing machine sort of deal. I think they could do it real well with Eric Rowan. Like basically you take the best of Braun and you take the best of like the Dean Ambrose like craziness and you put it together, and that I feel like that would be a perfect character for him.
I think it's just really strange how they even broke up the Wyatts. Like, Luke Harper and Eric are great as a tag team. And at one point, I felt like they were going to get the belts. Remember that? I think it was like a year or two ago.
Yes. They
Yeah,
should
I
have
feel like they complement each other really well.
It's so weird how they have them going at each other instead of having them as a tag team. They would be perfect for being the champions, in my opinion, eventually, too. I mean, they were right there with Bray. Bray was going, I forgot what title Bray was going for at the time, but it almost felt like they were booking them so they all were going to be champions at once. Kind of like what they did at one point with the Shield. They were almost getting it like that. I don't know if you guys remember that.
One thing about Rowan is they wanted to do a single push. Match with the stupid like hose that's coming out of it and all kinds of craziness.
Mm-hmm.
His look, personal opinion,
lightly or just like a real dramatic
change his look up, because I mean he'll always be known as the Wyatt who was the least favorite, the least liked matches. He'll always be the worst Wyatt, so I think he needs to kind of get away from that gimmick and something else, like visually.
Yeah,
help.
They have to do something because he just looks like one of the Wyatts still.
Yeah, but
he's a baby face. Yeah. It's so strange. What do we got next?
Come back as a Rosebud will be good.
Everyone has a Rosebud. That'd be awesome.
Well, Braun Strowman was a Rosebud.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. If you go on YouTube and you search Braun Strowman Rosebud, you'll see him. I think he was like a hamburger or something.
I didn't know that.
They have a lot of WWE talent before they like made it to the mainstream. They were with Adam Rose all the time as Rosebuds. It's wild.
Because wasn't Sin Cara the bunny, from what I read? Or was that?
I thought Sami Zayn was the bunny. I forgot who was the bunny. That bunny was more over than Adam Rose at one point.
Yeah, I was kind of curious, like who actually played the bunny all the time, or it was just like they took turns. I was just kind of curious.
They probably switched them around.
I was hearing that they were thinking about it. They were thinking about making the bunny Vince McMahon, like they were gonna like take the actual like bunny head off in a show and have it be Vince, like just as a goof and everything, but they never went through with that. They were thinking of doing that, though. I heard from a few sources.
It was a good thing they didn't do it, because then we'd be associated with a failed act.
Unreal. What's the next match we got?
The next match is Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin.
Go ahead.
Oh, you didn't hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Who do you got?
Oh, see, this one is a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to be hard to predict who's going to win. I think Corbin is going to win, but it's not going to be a clean finish.
What do you think, Clint?
I've actually thought about this match. Do you bury Corbin or do you bury Sami? Sami's been buried now for a year. He doesn't win much. Corbin he should have gotten the belt off Ambrose.
Definitely, I agree.
Got that belt. That was a huge mistake, I think, because the Ambrose run has just been flat the whole time. So since they pushed Corbin with the IC belt, and he never got his rematch per se, not rematch, but how they let him try 2 or 3 times. I look for Corbin to go into the main event scene here, probably by SummerSlam, possibly. So I got to go Corbin because got to bury Sami for another year.
I'm going to go with Corbin too. I think that Sami, I don't see them really pushing Sami. I think he's going to stay at like a mid-card, kind of like a Dolph Ziggler. And that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Corbin. And I actually grown to like Corbin. At first, I didn't really like him that much, but as I kept watching him, I do like him now. I think he has potential.
I remember when they started making him wear a shirt in every match.
Well, I think that's what made me like him more, because he had like this long belly button. It's the funniest thing ever. I mean, I know I'm far from perfect. We all are, for Christ's sake. But I mean, some guys need to wear shirts.
needs to get on that no carbs Mahal diet, right?
Oh my goodness, Mr.
There's a lot
Veins.
more than no carbs. Dude's got gyno. You know, like if you see his chest, men who do steroids, their nipples kind of pop out a little bit, but like a little bit more like boobage popping out with the nipple. Man, he's got that times 10. And last week on SmackDown, they showed a shot of his back. If you looked at his back, it was just covered in acne. Covered in acne. It was bad. But
Yeah, that's a major sign right there too.
But he tans so dark to kind of hide that, I think, too. But I mean, he's just screaming. Dude needs a drug test, like a legit drug test.
But I actually don't mind it. I know it sounds negative, but I like seeing this again. It kind of reminds me of back in the days when we were kids, you know, when they were on that, you know.
Everybody had the bodies with the veins popping out, their eyeballs, their skulls, their ass, everything. Like Ultimate Warrior, where you like his arms about to explode. It looked like, you know, like that kind of a look. Yeah,
it is like cool. Superheroes.
Yeah.
Those were the days. I really I like what they're doing with this, and we're definitely going to get to that a lot more. But in the meantime, what's the next match we got?
Do I gotta? The next match is a 6-women tag match. God. Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Naomi versus Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina.
I'll give it to those.
Ain't no personality.
Tamina and them. I'll give it to them. I'll give it to them.
I'm going to say any team with Charlotte on it because they need to stop burying Charlotte on SmackDown.
Go ahead, Clint.
Charlotte's going to turn.
Yes, I took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that.
Because this whole match, in my opinion, is just to make Charlotte look strong, to elevate her and only her, in my opinion. So I think there's going to be a finish where I think the team of, who is it? Natalya, Carmella, and Tamika will possibly win, but Charlotte's going to do a flip-flop, or she's just going to turn on all 5 of them, say, I'm the queen, this is my ring, to make her look strong. Because if she doesn't have a big push in this match to make her look like a heel, not as a baby face, it's a whole failure, I think. And you can't bury Charlotte since out of those 6 that actually matter, in my opinion.
I agree with you. And I feel like they brought in her as a baby face to bring more heel heat by her doing something dirty tonight and turning on her opponents. So that's why I'm picking that other team to win. Tamina, and I don't even remember the other people. But I'm just being honest. And the only reason why I remember Tamina is because that's the last name you said when you were reading off the names, Nate, or else I would have forgotten all of them. I'm not a huge Tamina fan either. But Charlotte has to be a heel. I feel like her as a babyface is just not working. She needs to be a bad girl, like her father. She's really good at cutting, ruthless promos, being heartless, it being believable also, which is a big problem with a lot of the talent in WWE when they cut the promos. It's just like bad acting. Some of them need to go to acting classes. I think Charlotte got it, She got
Bailey's the worst at cutting promos.
Bailey's horrible at promos, I think.
Oh my god.
Horrible. She's probably
terrible.
Is Bailey. Just I can't watch her. I just can't do
that whole little arc where Charlotte just harped on her about being just a fan. She sounds like just a fan, like when she cuts a promo.
Well, that's her whole gimmick, Like she's like very kiddish and just loves WWE and been watching since day one, and I'm just so happy to be here. What I would love to see is her just go complete heel and become such just an evil, terrible person. I think it would be hilarious, if she became really the opposite of what she is.
You know how we've waited for Sasha Banks to turn heel? What if Bayley's turns heel on Sasha Banks?
That would be way better.
And Sasha's they really are taking a lot of the momentum off of her right now by her not turning heel.
It killed her.
And by losing to Alicia Fox.
Yeah, that was strange. But, you know, at the end of the day, I was listening to my guy Don Tony. He was telling me the reason why I think they did that is more for Sasha and less for Alicia Fox. Like, just to set up, like, Sasha to just freak out, you know? We'll see. What do we got next?
Next, we have the tag team championship between the Usos and Breezango.
Now, what do you guys think of Breezango? Before I don't mean to cut you off. What do you think about them lately?
They're getting
I think
better.
they're hilarious.
They're getting better.
They are getting way better. And yes. I absolutely love the last promo they did where, what was he, like a janitor undercover or something like that? Yeah. And it was so funny. And it just reminds us, like, how, like, it doesn't always have to be so serious. It can be funny and goofy and corny. Just kind of like the broken Matt gimmick, which was pretty, like, goofy and corny, how we love that. Even though it's totally different, but the vibe of just, you know, not being so serious, having fun at the same time, being comedic. And I really think it's hilarious. That promo was so funny to me. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win.
It feels like these two dudes were made for each other. Like, it just happened to work out. Because, I mean, Fandango was just like some super cocky, like, dancer gimmick thing. And then, you know, Tyler Breeze is just this, like, self-absorbed selfie guy. I don't know. I just feel like they were the perfect match for each other. And whoever thought to put them together, they did a great job. But anyway, I hope they win because, I don't know, the Usos, it's just, like, same shit, different day with the Usos. It seems like every other time the Usos have the belt. So
the urban Usos, right? That's what they are.
That's right.
I hope I didn't insult anyone.
That's right. I think like they wear sneakers now, and I don't know. Whatever.
Go ahead, Clint.
No comment.
I'm actually going for the Usos, not because I like them, because I actually like Breezango, their character, their gimmick. But with the New Day coming up here in maybe a month or two or less, I mean, WWE, do they want New Day versus Breezango or New Day versus the Usos? In my mind, money-wise, you want the heels, just evilness against New Day, happy, cheery, ice cream, unicorns, T-shirts, cereal. So I think Usos win just because they need to have the bad guys against the New Day to feud for the belt to give to the New Day at SummerSlam.
Another thing is one reason why I could see the Usos winning is stretching out this feud too. You know, like it seems too good to be true if Breezango wins tonight. Like
it'd be funny if they did win though.
If they win, it'll be awesome. And the people are gonna pop like crazy, you know, whether they're at the show or watching at home. And that's one thing that I think WWE is lacking is more of that, letting the fans get what they want, because it seems like they don't like to do that a lot. I was shocked when they had the Hardys win the championship belts, you know, right off the bat. That was what they were supposed to do, and they actually did what they were supposed to do. When they came, they had the biggest pop of WrestleMania as far as I'm concerned with the Hardys. Definitely. They stole the show.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Jeff breaking that damn.
They stole my heart.
Yeah. Oh, I swear, I was marked out like crazy.
I almost started crying. Like honestly, I think my tear or my eyes welled up a little bit whenever I saw and I heard and it
just the joy, right? It was amazing. I mean, I've been seeing them in North Carolina a lot, and on the indie circuit. You guys seen some of the video I did with them even. Like it was like I just was recently around them a lot. Even Senor Benjamin I interviewed. I have an actual interview with Senor Benjamin talking about filming all that stuff, I have never posted. I still have to post that, but it was cool, like seeing them around here, and then all of a sudden seeing them back in WWE. But one thing that was kind of a giveaway was when they took off all their merch off of the Hardy site. Remember they did like a huge sale? I think you picked something up.
Yeah, the
Clint,
signed photo by Matt, because they said there's only like 3 days left and then the site's going down. So I'm like, well, since they're pulling off all the T-shirts, autographs, everything, to me that was a sign that WWE saying you got to cut that off. So I bought a picture.
Oh yeah, you're not playing with that.
Yeah. So I mean that was pretty much a sign. I think that it was coming eventually.
But they had the match before WrestleMania, and
The day before, right?
yes,
Yeah,
with the Young Bucks, and then they had like this big event the next day. So it seemed like they were so busy that it kind of threw everything off, even though it was kind of obvious at like with little here's and there's. Like they just did it so great. The way they introduced them and everything, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next match we got?
The next match is what I think is going to be the match of the night. It's going to be Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship.
What's your pick?
And I know who I want to win, and I know who's going to win. I feel like I want Styles to win. I don't think it's going to happen because I feel like Styles is meant to win the championship eventually, the WWE Championship, and not the US Championship. Like his feud with Kevin Owens is like, I mean, it's great because they're both great. They're both great. They cut great promos, and they're both excellent in the ring. But AJ Styles is meant for more right now. I think Kevin Owens' like face of America thing that he's got going on is great. He should continue that because it's so ironic. So I'm going to go with Owens winning.
What do you think, Clint?
Same thing. Owens wins because AJ should be in the main title picture, not U.S. title. That's for him. It's just too much of a downgrade. When, in my opinion, AJ, to me, is like the face of the company. In my opinion,
I agree.
You know,
I agree 100% with what you just said about being the face of the company.
should not have a belt that's lower than what his status deserves. But Owens does not win clean. Of scuffle that's going to happen, chair, somebody runs in, and Owens will win. Yeah, he'll be DQ'd, but AJ will be facing either Jinder or Orton, hopefully this summer or fall, because whenever he had that belt for, 6 months or so, like, he made that belt look good. He's the face of the company. And
he definitely is. His look, his in-ring talent, his promos he cuts are always A1 quality.
They're unbelievable.
And
you can't put a belt on him that's pretty much like a belt that just propels you to the next step, just like a stepping stone belt. He's past that stepping stone. So Owens wins with some shenanigans.
I hope so too, because I'm a huge fan of AJ Styles, and I don't want to see a clean finish because that would be really shitty. I think that would just not be the right look for him.
He can't lose clean. No, there's no way. If he lost clean,
that would be horrible.
If he loses clean, we riot. We riot.
You're gonna tweet that you're canceling your subscription.
Hashtag we riot.
That's what a lot of people do. I'm canceling my subscription to WWE Network. I agree with you guys
once. There was a match. I don't remember when it was, but there was a pay-per-view early 2015 that pissed me off for a week, and I'm like, damn it. So I bought it again. I can't remember what it was, but it was probably like a Roman Reigns bull crap thing or something because I can't stand the guy.
It usually is.
So I canceled for like a week, and then I bought it back because I want to watch my wrestling.
Now I have a question.
I rioted once.
Not to interrupt you. I have a question for you guys, so I don't forget this. Do you guys think that there should only be one person with this kind of anti-American kind of gimmick? being that you have Jinder that they're kind of portraying this with, and then now you have it with Kevin Owens. Do you feel like it's kind of like clashing a little bit, like having almost twice, or no?
I don't personally, because I feel like the Kevin Owens thing was more thought out. I feel like the Jinder thing was, hey, we're about to break into this new Indian market. Jinder is Indian Canadian. It's the closest thing we had. Let's push him now with the same sentiment. It wasn't like, hey, let's it clearly wasn't really thought out too well. I mean, they're doing a great job with it. Don't get me wrong. But like the Kevin Owens thing was clearly like a planned ahead of time sort of thing. And this was more like a off the cuff. Let's just do this and see how far we can get.
What do you think, Clint?
Jinder thing is more, I hate America. Owens is more, I'm just making fun of them. It's two different kinds of anti-America kind of a thing. And they're both on the same show. And Rusev is coming in soon. So if he kind of portrays the same thing, will there be three? You know.
Exactly. It's just,
and that'd be overkill. If there's three saying, you know, Bulgarian brute, and then you got Jinder doing his shtick, you know, and it's not a bad thing as long in like how Owens just pokes fun at the American way of life. You know, just, you know, I'm the face of America. I'm not talking French, blah, 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 blah. Jinder's just, I hate, you know. So it's two kind of forms of anti-America. So I think it's okay, but Rusev can't come in number 3 and it'll just be kind of ridiculous at that point.
yeah, and I like Rusev. I'm actually a pretty big fan of Rusev. Surprisingly, I know a lot of people don't like him, but I honestly think he's fantastic. Even
like a lot of
my kids
smart marks like him.
I like him, but I love Lana, so I can't wait to see her back.
I keep missing these promos that people are kind of bashing with Lana dancing. People are saying it's horrible. Have you guys seen it? It's terrible.
Yes.
It's really bad,
From what I read,
Emelina.
Yeah,
that's
her gimmick was meant for Emma, but then they flipped it and they gave it to Lana, so she's kind of like a sexy dancer, stripper, humps a chair in the promos. I mean, I like them, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's not WWE PG kind of TV.
My whole thing is it really necessary also? Because
no, it's not.
Lana is so over already with people, just her being this like powerful, dominant woman, you know, that's really sexy. Like I feel like her whole package is very sexy, you know.
They're doing it to punish them. That's why they cut them apart.
Oh, because of that whole marriage situation.
Yeah, and that's why she's suddenly got this super sexualized gimmick that normally, like in this day and age in the PG era, with this whole women's revolution thing going on, it doesn't fly. It's weird. Like, why are they doing it? But that's what it seems like to me.
What's the next match we got, guys?
The next match is the final match, right? I think so. No, it's not. The next match is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm gonna say it right now. They're gonna bury Ziggler like the worst burying of his career. I don't know if he's gonna be able to come back from this. It's gonna be an utter like annihilation. If you watch most of Nakamura's NXT matches, he buried basically everyone he faced. Almost everyone up until his departure. So
there's no way that Nakamura is losing. That would be the dumbest thing ever. You know, I mean, they've been putting a lot of promos out there and commercials with him too. Like
he's on the damn main poster.
Yeah,
I think he's fantastic. I can't wait to see like him and AJ. They're gonna feud eventually. Him and Kevin Owens. Even though we've seen matches of them already, if you look on YouTube, the older matches before WWE, but I can't wait to see it in WWE. The future of that.
I will say one more thing I'll say is I don't think it was time for Nakamura to come up. I think they sort of rushed him a little bit. And I'm saying this because he doesn't speak English that well. And I feel like you can't cut people who speak full English can't cut promos. This guy who barely says a word in English, he's a phenomenal talent, but until he gets his English on par, I think it was way too soon. And I will cut it right there.
I think, though, I don't want him to speak much English. And I actually like that. I think that it's cool that he don't speak that good English, so he don't have to talk that much. Because I feel like he kind of got this real star look to him already. I think he has a big star look. So a lot of these wrestlers don't have that star image to them when they walk in the ring, back in the days. When you look at people like Warrior, to the $1 Million Man, to Macho Man, I feel like these new guys, they don't really have that star vibe to them. But I feel like these guys, some of these guys do, like Nakamura. Not comparing him to a Macho Man or any of those guys, but I'm just talking about their presence. They have a star presence. And I don't think he should speak much, but that's just my opinion. What do you think, Clint?
Yeah, I think he shouldn't speak much because he needs an advocate. He needs Paul Heyman.
Oh, goodness. Can you imagine?
Because Lesnar speaks 4 words a year?
Yeah.
5 words tops, and the dude's a beast. Shinsuke just
speak like crazy too, which is weird. He don't know.
And he also sucked at it too.
That's very true.
He sucks at him. But if Shinsuke had an advocate like Heyman, I think that it would just make him to the next just top of the game. Dude comes to the ring, doesn't say a word, fights, does his thing. Heyman does the artist Shinsuke, does his little spiel. I think that would just propel him to where they want him to go by just having him keep his mouth shut.
Now,
his English sucks.
I got a question for the two of you, because I'm thinking about Dolph Ziggler, and I'm thinking about how at one point he was kind of popping. People really wanted to see him be someone, I think. And now a lot of people, I feel like, don't really care. I feel like when he was with Vicky, when he had a manager, remember when he had Vicky Guerrero as his manager? He was kind of popping then. And then he had AJ, and he had Biggie Langston at the time. Do you guys feel like there's not enough managers in WWE where they don't have people putting over talent except Paul Heyman? That's the only go-to guy, really? Do you feel like there needs to be more managers like back in the day? With Bobby the Brain, Mr. Fuji, the list goes on and on. What do you guys think?
I agree 100%. There's Paul Heyman and there's no one else. I feel like they focus a lot on the actual in-ring talent and they expect every single guy to be great at everything when that's not how it works. Everyone can't be great at everything. We need to get more of those talkers, because there's guys who they're talkers. That's who we need. We need to bring some more of those. Even when Alberto Del Rio had his personal ring announcer,
that was fantastic.
Just added so much more to his image. And
then they got rid of him, and it really played a part with his downward spiral. Including, I think, even when he had they stopped having him roll up with all the fancy cars and stuff like that. All that stuff dresses the these people up with their gimmicks and everything.
We even had big stars back in the day, that had other people with them, managers or partners or whatever, that would come out with them, even though they were good in their own right. Edge did a whole thing. Who else had a manager or whatever back in the day? You got to excuse me. I hit my head a few times. So
Hogan had Jimmy Hart.
Yep,
exactly.
Yeah.
And he was a great.
Jimmy Hart. had at one point was like managing everyone.
Yes, he's come out with everybody.
Like if you watch WrestleMania 3, that man, every match, it was either him or Bobby the Brain Heenan, but majority of the times it was Jimmy. He would run back because I don't know if you guys remember exactly. They'd have like that little baby ring, and they would drive the ring to the actual ring. And you would see Jimmy just coming back and forth in different outfits, managed by Jimmy Hart. It was over and over again. That man was like one of the hardest working guys in the show business back then in WWF. It was crazy. But they just are lacking that, and I feel like they need more of that. I liked Vicky Guerrero with Dolph Ziggler. I thought he was really good with her. But
why did Vicky leave for? Because I don't even remember why she looked like a year and a half ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did she even leave?
I know I liked her. I think she was pursuing I think real estate or something, or nursing, something like that. I think she just wanted to change.
She wanted a normal life.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they got these people on the road like 6 days a week. It's rough, you know. Because of the house shows, a lot of times we forget about the house shows every week. They do 2 to 3 house shows.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next match we got, guys?
The next match is the main event. Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal for the championship.
Quick, who do you got?
I gotta say Jinder, just to shake things up, because Randy, since he got the belt, he hasn't done anything. I mean, the House of Horrors match, in my mind, just lowered my expectations of what Randy can do, and it just a disaster. And
that was horrible.
It just that was one of the worst events I've ever seen in my life. But with Jinder, I do like taking basically a guy who's a nobody, pushing him to see if it works, and if he gets the belt tonight, and if it's successful. But he won't get it clean though. If he wins, it won't be clean.
Oh, it'll be with those Bollywood sing boys.
Yeah, I mean it won't be clean.
Come in there.
But I'd like to see him win the belt, run it for several months just to test the water, see how it works, to see if they can take a middle of the card guy and just push him within a matter of months and see if it works. Because there's lots of guys who are mid-carders who could use a good push, like Eric Rowan, just to see if it works. And Orton, it doesn't really matter if he wins or if he loses. I mean, he's established as a Hall of Famer, one of the greats. So you can bury him and he'll be right back the next week. So
definitely,
you know, I mean, he can lose and be totally fine. Jinder, if he loses,
it's over.
Mid-card or below, he's done. So Jinder wins.
What do you got? What do you think, Nate?
I think if Jinder loses, he's going back to 3MB on his hands and knees. No, I don't think there's any way Jinder should lose this match, mainly because, like I said before, they're trying to push this new Indian market. And how would it look if, like, their top guy for that market loses his first title match? Of course, it's not going to be clean, of course. Bollywood boys will make sure that. But you know what? Bringing up the House of Horrors match, Jinder was the best part of the House of Horrors match. So I'm saying Jinder wins. Randy needs to lose so that he can win it again down the line for whatever record he's going to eventually be given. So Jinder all the way.
Yeah, I think that he has to win. I mean, all this build-up for him to lose to Randy. They do this kind of stuff, though, with Randy Orton, though. They end up making Randy Orton win sometimes when it's, like, clear as day that that's the wrong choice. They always put Randy over, but they got to have Jinder win. I think that the people want this, too. I think majority of the people want this. They want to see a new talent win the championship. So I'm hoping he wins.
We shall see.
And it's definitely not going to be a clean finish.
No.
I highly doubt it. It'll be them guys jumping on the ropes, you know, the two dudes, and getting some kind of distraction going, I'm sure. And then who knows what's going to happen, but it's going to be a dirty finish, definitely. And that concludes our predictions. We may have to do an after show in a day or so if we have the time. We'll see.
We might have to do that.
Depending on the comments, we'll see what people want from this video. Guys, final words, promote, plugs, anything you guys want to do. Nate, start with you.
Okay, watch my videos, subscribe to my channel, all that good stuff. I guess, I don't know.
I'll have that information in the description box below to these guys' channels, by the way, to make life easy for you once this goes on YouTube. So just go in the description box below, guys. And any final words, Clint?
I guess just check out my channel, Franchise Kicks on YouTube. I try to upload 3 times a week. I've been slacking the past few weeks at only 2 uploads a week because life happens. But yeah, if you like sneakers, sneaker talk, in the past on my channel, I've done some things to do with wrestling, but it doesn't get any kind of view, so I don't really talk anymore because nobody watches it. But if you want to see me talk more about stuff outside of sneakers in a video, say, hey, talk about Nicki Minaj or something. Hey, let's do it, you know. So check out the channel.
Let us know what you guys want, you know.
I mean, like, because like I've tried to unbox like crap like I buy from certain stores. I've tried to do some wrestling things, but lots of things that I try just are hit and miss. And then people say, well, your videos get stale. I'm like, well, I've tried to do some different things, but people don't watch them. So what do you guys want to see, you know? Because
hey, the views show what people want to watch. That's how I look at it, you know.
And the likes. And the like.
Which please like this video right now. If you guys want more of this, depending on the feedback we get, we'll do more of this kind of stuff right here. And guys, I got the Sneaker Addict tees available at ProWrestlingTees.com. I'm sure you guys know about that site, being that you guys love wrestling. ProWrestlingTees.com/DJ Delz. That's in the description box. Subscribe here. And I'm aiming to hopefully get these guys and me to do like a weekly show, maybe SmackDown Live reactions, and then maybe like a follow-up 30 minutes after where we just reflect on the show and we'll talk about the show during the commercials, of course, too. So let me know, guys, what you guys think about that in the comment box. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to Franchise Kicks and Nate Serpant. Everyone be great out there. Thanks for tuning in, and we out of here. Peace.